Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. This segment is sponsored by Travelspan Vacations. Former Barbados Prime Minister Owen Arthur says it is inconceivable that the Bahamas could continue to remain the only country in the Western Hemisphere which is not a member of the World Trade Organization. He was addressing the Grand Bahamas Chamber of Commerce on the value-added tax and its impact on the Bahamas. Arthur said that for a country whose economic activities and performance are influenced to an extraordinary degree by its participation in the global economic arena, it is unexplainable that the Bahamas will be able to indefinitely maintain what he calls it odd man out status relating to a rules-based international economy. The Grenada Parliament on Friday passed legislation to punish people with hefty fines and/or lengthy jail terms for what is termed offensive online comments. However, the expression offensive is referred to in vague and broad terms, leading many people, especially journalists, to fear that anything could be regarded as offensive by the new National Party, government led by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, who, following general elections in February, currently enjoys control of all 15 seats in the lower house of parliament. Mitchell has a long history of using the law to prosecute and/or otherwise intimidate local and international media and journalists in attempts to suppress unfavorable reporting. Now, according to the new law, complaints about offensive comments would be filed with police. A judge would then decide if the message was offensive. Those found guilty could be fined up to $37,000 or face 3 years in prison. Although the law is the first of its kind in the Caribbean, other countries have been talking about policing online social media content. In April, Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson announced that the Bahamas government was working on legislation that will police information posted on the internet. Earlier in April, Bahamas Commissioner of Police Alison Greenslade warned that the police would press charges against people who post lewd or obscene pictures on social media websites. In Grenada, and other Caribbean nationals living and working in Grenada have expressed concern over the new law, and it is likely that regional leaders and media associations will be drawn into the debate. One regional journalist working in Trinidad has already called upon that country's Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar to take a stand for Trinidad and Tobago nationals everywhere in relation to the negative impact of this law in Grenada. Persad-Bissessar was reminded that she recently joined with the International Press Institute and the Association of Caribbean Media Workers in promising support for freedom of speech for all Trinidad and Tobago nationals, especially in the media. In Guyana, in the wake of a spate of robberies on business places and business persons, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry on Tuesday called on the Guyana Police Force to reveal its plan to address the growing scourge. The city business organization wants the police force to present its strategy at a seminar scheduled for August 13th to sensitize the private sector on best practices for businesses to secure and protect themselves. Chief of Criminal Investigations Deputy Police Commissioner Silal Prasad on Tuesday said the recent wave of multi-million-dollar robberies was not the work of an organized gang. His comments come less than 1 day after Monday's robberies on Akbar Auto Sales on North Road, Steve Chong's Ruby's branded gas station, and the deadly invasion of Fusie's Mini Mart in Guy Hawk Park. Prasad said that based on intelligence being gathered and persons being captured, the bandits are not members of one gang. The GCCI also urged business persons to take precautionary measures to ensure that they have adequate security infrastructure and procedures in place to reduce the likelihood of their businesses being targeted. Another GCCI suggestion is for businesses to use private security services when transporting huge sums of cash and provide advice on implementing security systems and strategies. The GCCI said it was alarmed and unsettled at the number of robberies being perpetrated on city businesses and business persons. And I quote, "There's a spike in armed and violent criminal acts that is directed towards the business community in the past few months, and which has intensified as of late," said the chamber. The GCCI called on the police force to respond vigorously and effectively in apprehending perpetrators of those heinous crimes. The chamber wants the police to dedicate additional manpower to businesses to prevent robberies from occurring and respond promptly when crimes are reported to the various police stations. Beginning on Monday, the Organization of American States is supporting a new phase of the destruction of weapons in Costa Rica within the framework of the Inter-American Convention Against Illicit Manufacturing of and Trafficking in Firearms, Ammunition, Explosives, and other related materials. The destruction, which is also supported by the United States government, began on Monday at the headquarters of the General Directorate of Armaments with a ceremony attended by the Minister of the Interior, Police and Public Security of Costa Rica, Mario Zamora Cordero, and the Deputy Minister Celso Gamboa Sanchez, and will run until July 26 of this year. This is the sixth session of weapons destruction that takes place in Costa Rica with OAS certification since March 2011, when the OAS General Secretariat and the government of the country signed the agreement on cooperation and technical assistance. Since 2011 and during the 5 previous phases, more than 1 million rounds of ammunition and over 7,000 firearms of various types and sizes have been destroyed. The plan is to eliminate over 3,000 other firearms, which when added to the previous phases will total nearly over 10,000 firearms destroyed through methods and procedures endorsed by international standards and with the technical assistance, logistics, and certification of the OAS. The OAS Program of Assistance for the Control of Arms and Destruction of Ammunitions supports the states of Central America in the destruction of weapons in order to prevent their loss and diversion and to combat the smuggling of firearms in the region. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with zero out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord is zero out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.